And welcome back to the Sesquicentennial Small Talk Olympics. Today's event holds a ton of gravity, Large. It's the toast.
Here's to Frank. We love you, man.
So boring. So drab.
To the future, L'chaim.
That was not deserving of our time, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
When I think toast, I think of weddings. You're right, I think of important events. So toasts are things that should not be taken lightly, and I hope our competitors know that.
And Large, our first competitor is Rudy. Now, Rudy already has a couple medals to his name.
I expect big things from Rudy.
Don't spill the Loko. There's a chance we got a billionaire speech. And here it is. An early test for Rudy. Whenever you're ready, sir. Toast.
Comrades, attention please. As we all know, the coming months will be very, very important to our nation. Crimea is in our grasp, and soon we will have all of Ukraine. So, to the future, L'chaim.
That's time.
And now that's time. Okay, very nice. Wow, interesting. Interesting toast. Okay. Large, as the judges make their decisions, talk to me about toasting as a medium of small talk. Does it actually count as small talk, and how do you not go too big?
I'll tell you what, Rudy went big. Rudy went political, something that we've avoided in other heats during this contest. Yeah, it's definitely small talk. So the L'chaim at the end was a little bit, I don't know. But otherwise, I think he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, he has a pretty strong grasp on the geopolitical situation. He left a little bit of meat on the bone at the end as far as time. Let's see what our judges had to think, though.
Using
Tommy?
the clock.
Rudy. You left a little too much time on the clock for my liking there. You could see the people were expecting more. These Russians were like, why did he stop speaking? Why did he stop speaking? And you just stopped speaking. You let the silence.
Excellent Russian accent from
5 to 10 seconds of silence. Now, I will say, I'll go 7.7 on difficulty. I will go a 5.2 on execution, too much time left on the clock, and a 6.7 on artistry, bringing you to a 19.6. I know you can be better than that.
I also know you can be better than that. I don't think it was as horrible as all of our faces seem to make it. I think that the time left on the clock left us all a little stunned. I certainly was waiting for a little more, maybe one last kick, one last joke, something. Artistry, a 6.3. I did like how you commanded the room. You were speaking to us in a tone that was commandeering. So I appreciate that from you, Rudy. 6.3 there, a total of 18.9.
5 seconds into it, I thought that we had maybe one of our highest scores ahead of us, and then you fell off at the end. Very disappointed that you left 15 of the 30 seconds on the clock. You had it. You had the idea, you had the room, you had the toast, and then you stopped talking. It's only 30 seconds. You could have filled 30 seconds. If we could rewind, go back, I think that you could have blown that out of the water, but you didn't. So it's a 21.6 today.
All things considered, pretty good scores for Rudy, and we might be overlooking how nice his poise was, but I think we'll find out more about that comparatively when we get to our next competitors. Next up to the plate, champagne flute in hand, is Eddie. Now, we all know Eddie is a talented conversationalist, but a toast is a little bit more of a monologue. How do you think he'll fare?
I think Eddie just recently started getting invited to more parties. So I think Eddie's had more experience making toasts. So I think Eddie's going to do very well here.
Four Loko wheel is spinning. Where will it end? Looks like we'll be toasting to a guest of honor. And if we have 30 seconds on the clock, Eddie, it's on you.
Yeah, so the guest of honor today is my good friend Frank. I just wanted to say he traveled far and wide to get here. His flight not only got delayed once, but it got delayed twice. And they lost his luggage, but the big part here is that he's here, and he's always been here for us. He wouldn't miss it for the world, even if he had to go and do a planes, trains, and automobiles type thing. So here's to Frank. We love you, man, and it wouldn't be the same without you. Thank you.
Time. All right. Beautifully done. The fictional Frank character, is he real? Is he fake? What do you believe, Large?
I wasn't expecting that. I thought that he'd be addressing something. I don't know what I was expecting, but I liked it. A little bit of a dry toast. But otherwise, I thought it was good.
You could probably do a little bit better. Maybe if it wasn't a fake situation. I think that if you were really put on the stage, you could do better. But what you were given, you worked well with. So I appreciate that. And artistry, 7.4 for similar reasons, totaling 21.2. Nice job overall.
Tommy?
Boring. It's the one word I have for that performance. Why was Frank being honored? All we know is that he was late. Your execution, it was fine. It was good enough. 6.2, I like the planes, trains, and automobiles reference. Pop culture always plays. Good to pick a 30-year-old movie. And artistry, a 4.1. So boring, so drab, so unimaginative. That's really gonna bring you down. You're at a 16.5. For somebody that I had such high expectations for coming into this competition, you have been nothing but a letdown.
You were average across the board. You didn't blow my socks off, but I still have socks. Socks are the name of the game here. So execution, a 7.0. Artistry, as Tommy said, a little bit boring, a little bit drab, as he calls it, a 6.0. But you do crush the smallest of the small talk. It is just a little bit dry for me.
It definitely will be interesting going forward. The one consolation prize for Eddie, though, is the Four Loko. Let's see who we have next. Alyssa, if you feel ready to spin, now's your time. Looks like she'll be toasting to the year to come. 30 seconds are on the clock. Miss Publicity, it's on you.
Okay, everyone please raise a glass. I want to start us off on a good foot. New year ahead of us. We have the company party coming up. We're all gonna be drinking together. Make sure you keep it, in line with the Barstool way, which isn't that much in line. But I just want to say that I'm really excited for this year to come. I think we have really exciting things, hoping for a lot more, some new friendships, some new, getting a little involved in the mud a little bit more. I kind of played it safe last year, and this year I'm really looking to break out, get to know you guys better, and hopefully
And time!
stash.
Wow, a really complete toast from her.
Yeah, this person ran right through the line.
Alyssa, sweetheart, you crushed it. You absolutely crushed it. Listen, that was your best performance so far. We immediately felt like friends. I was invested. What is she gonna say next? I was hanging on every word. An 8.4, and even though you almost ran out of time, I think you ended up, you didn't panic at the end when you were running late. And artistry, you're an artist, baby. You're an artist. We all know it. An 8.8 on the artistry. Great command of the room. Great use of your facial expressions, your body movements, everything. You killed the artistry. An 8.8 totals up to a 23.3. By far the best toast we have seen so far today. All kidding aside, I'm really proud of you.
I gave you a 7.9 for difficulty because I'll be honest, I don't think half the people in this place can give a speech about the year to come as flawlessly as you did just now. I'm gonna give you an 8.5 for execution because it was perfection, and an 8.1 in artistry, again, for including all of the little details about Barstool. Loved it, perfection.
Thank you.
T with P, and the P stands for nearly perfect. You did a phenomenal job. From the beginning, asking us to raise our glasses, first person to do that. Kind of an important part of a toast. And the artistry, Tommy?
You're an artist, baby. You're an artist.
A 9.0 on artistry. You brought in the buzzwords, but you kept it light and fun. You knew what you were doing. You look like a pro up there.
I hope that Alyssa is not afraid of heights, because I see her on a podium in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, and there's no telling how high she can go, but let's see if these other competitors have something to say.
Make a toast.
I give him a -1 on it.
Why? Nick has a 30-second toast to the year to come. And if you're ready, well, please.
Ladies, gentlemen, if I could just have a second of your time and attention. This year has been hard on everybody. Every last one of us have struggled. But you know what I love the most? Opportunity. And that will be in this year to come. Anything is possible. Nate, you could grow your hair back. Kelly, you could dump Vibs. Tommy, maybe your nose will shrink. Who knows? This year is filled to the brim like our glasses.
Wow. Unbelievably loco. Interesting strategy to kind of neg the judges, but it's almost like he's making his degree of difficulty harder just so he has an obstacle to overcome.
Yeah, I think the best player on everyone else's team right now is Nick because he came out gangbusters. I was inspired.
But did he command the respect of the judges, Tommy?
No. Everybody knows the best way to Tommy's heart's a compliment, the worst way is an insult. You have a flat 0 on execution for the nose comment. That being said, I respect the hell out of the difficulty of that, to stand up here and try to insult the judges. I'll bump you to an 8.4 on the difficulty. You have a 5.8 on the artistry. Overall, that adds up to a 14.2. The 0 in the execution really hurts you, but you don't insult Tom.
I'm going to give you a 7.3 in difficulty. It was a bold move to neg the judges, although you have opened my eyes to a potential new wonderful year single, so I have to think about that. I'll give you an 8 for artistry. It was fantastic, it was bold, it was daring. I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
Let's see this.
Sounds like it.
Hey, Derek.
I'd like to start at artistry. You commanded the room from the get-go, and you continued through the 30 seconds. Overall, a good toast. I enjoyed it, and I would allow you to toast again.
Thank you.
Only to Tommy, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting, Large. When does a toast turn into a roast? And what's the difference?
Well, a roast we were expecting, but that dig, particularly at Tommy's nose, came right out of the blue. And it was a big one, much like Tommy's nose.
Of course. And we'll see if that 0 comes back to bite Nick, not only in this category, but across the board. A couple more left. Next up, Coach Doug's. Large, how do you like his chances?
I don't.
Doug's, you know the drill, so spin that thing. You want to win that thing. Oh, looks like Doug will be mixing an embarrassing story into his toast. 30 seconds are on the clock. Doug's, it's on you.
Well, thank you all for joining us this evening. It's been a real pleasure being a part of this. And, you know, I can't really say that I have too many embarrassing stories, but I will one time say this. I thought Nate Dogg's real name was Nate. I just felt like a real goof. But to wrath, to ruin, to the world's ending.
And time, there's time right there. Interesting strategy from Doug's. We saw a little bit of meat left on the bone towards the end there. Nate, your name was brought up. What'd you think of that toast?
Doug's.
Oh, that's not good.
That was easily, by a wide margin, the worst performance at these Olympiads. To the point where if I was the coach, I would send you home immediately or make you swim across the ocean. I don't know what the fuck you just did. All in all, that was not deserving of our time, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
Ms. Keeks?
Doug's, I'm at a loss of words. I really, after yesterday's performance, I thought today we might get a little more magic from you, and it just seems like you struggled. You struggled there. An embarrassing story is not so hard to come by. I think that we all have led extremely embarrassing lives. I think that, anything you wanted to say there could have fit. A 2.2 for execution, just not great. A 3.4 for artistry because you tried to save it at the end, totaling 11.6. Not your best performance.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Tommy?
That was fucking horrible!
Did you like it?
That was the worst toast
Are you okay?
we've had so far. Sorry, Kelly.
I blew out my hair this morning. Like, what are you gonna do with this
I
now?
was gonna hit the wall.
It's all on my face. Am I, all right. Give
I'll
your
laugh at
score.
execution.
Give your score.
Wow.
Give your score.
It was a little bit of a difficult topic, but you played it safe. I wanted an embarrassing story about the honoree, not about yourself. So 4.3, execution, horrible, so much dead air. 1.8, the artistry, you redeemed yourself a little bit at the end with the wrath, whatever, alliteration. 5.1, adds up to 11.2. I believe it's the lowest score I've given out so far, and that feels about it.
Doug's had a lot to go through. Luckily, there are more events for Doug's to kind of claw his way back, but it's going to be an uphill battle. Next to the stage, Jeff Vibert. Jeff Vibert has experienced some success thus far in the Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko. Do you think he's going to keep that success up?
High energy, extrovert. I like Jeff in this one. If he doesn't get too nervous, sometimes he can get ahead of himself.
Viz, if you're ready to spin that wheel, let's find out what you'll be toasting to. To the year to come. Champagne flutes are in hand, and 30 seconds shall be on the clock. Vibs, whenever you're ready, toast.
Oh, 2021 is in the rearview mirror. It is 2022. Everything is coming up Vibs this year. We are going to stay hydrated all year long. We're going to stick to our workout routine. We are going to go out more often, hang out with friends, do all the stuff that we weren't doing last year. Cheers to the year to come.
And that's time!
I thought it was solid. You know, I'm not going to be thinking about that when I go to bed tonight, in a good way or in a bad way. Your artistry was your highest area, an 8.1 in your artistry. Mainly, I just liked how high you held the glass. I really liked how high you held that. You get points for artistry in 8.1. That will put you at a 20.4, which for this round is very good.
I'm giving you a 7.5 for execution. I had to take off a few points because unfortunately you did not ask us to raise our glasses. Many people are forgetting this. You said cheers at the end, which saved you. I grabbed mine at the very end and was sure to cheers it. I wish that I had been holding it up the whole time. We can get past it. And I liked some of your goals. I feel like I maybe personally will benefit from them. So I'm excited about that for you. Congratulations.
I just had to say, when a man is holding his glass this high up in the air, you know a toast is coming.
Eric?
I did find it interesting that he was toasting to his year to come and did not include you in his goals, Kelly. I found that interesting, especially after Nick toasted that maybe you guys would break up in the year to come.
Right.
Just putting some pieces together.
Right.
Difficulty, you didn't go for it. This is day 2 of the Olympiad. You have to go for it if you want to get a gold medal. You did not go for it, so 6.3. So overall decent, but not the most difficult toast I've ever heard. I think you could have done better in that area.
Some of the toasts were golden and some appear to be burnt toast. But at the end of the day, we're going to tally everything up from these judges and we'll find out who's going to be on that podium with a gold medal around their neck. The scores have been tallied and the medals are in. And we know exactly who's going to be where on the podium. In third place, collecting a lot of bronze medals today, Mr. Nick Terraney. 4 events in, 4 medals. This guy knows how to rack them up. In second place, also no stranger to the medal stand, and this basically completes the triple crown for him, a gold, a silver, and a bronze for our second place finisher, Mr. Jeff Vibert. But the story of the event, in first place with the second highest score of the entire Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko, only 0.2 points behind Vib's total high score with a 74.2. Miss Publicity herself with a gold medal.
with P. T with P.
And the judges are chanting her name. Large, what did you see out there?
This is less of a ceremony and more of a coronation to the new Queen of Toast, Miss Alyssa.
Thank you, I'm honored. I'm very flattered.
It's not a microphone situation. Well shown, of course, by Alyssa.
I would take points off.
And two more events to go, so we'll see who can finish strong and if anyone can eclipse Nick with his 4 medals so far. The Small Talk Olympics presented by Four Loko.